What is going on, guys? Welcome
Whoa.
back to
Whoa.
Bill Break and Pricks, brought to you by
The Roar
the
Coders.
Roll Coders.
Oh, okay, my bad. You're right. It is the
The
Roar Coders.
Roll Coders. That's the one. You said it. How are you feeling today, Tori?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Zane?
I'm very well, very well. Had a good
Nice.
weekend?
Do you guys lost an hour today?
Yeah, so it's a daylight saving, so we've gone an hour back.
Oh, so you've gained an hour. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
Which is good because we had one extra hour today to sleep in.
nice. I know.
Yeah.
Nice. You'll be
You
cursing that daylight savings in about 6 months or whatever.
Yeah,
Ah,
because
I lost an hour of sleep.
God damn it. Huh. I'm already feeling sleepy. Not enough sleep still. Not enough sleep still.
Well, now it feels an hour later.
yeah,
That's why.
true. Yeah, that makes sense because now it's supposed to be 10:30. All right, guys, see you later. We are done.
That was fast. Hey,
Right.
Dev.
Hey, guys. Oh, that was pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah,
timing. Yeah, like it. Have you got Tandu in Bali, Tori?
I wish. Sounds like I should look into that.
Yeah, fresh bread, eh? Fresh naan bread.
What
Right.
else? What else can you cook in there? A lot of stuff, huh?
To be honest, I didn't even know what that is until a few days ago. I looked it up on Google.
I would like to know.
Oh,
And
you
or
don't know as well? Oh,
recipes. Maybe we can just talk about that tonight. Oh
all
wow.
right. Let's have a vote. What happened?
I'm just laughing. You're like, let's vote. Let's talk about food. No, I can't. I can't even look at the pictures, man. Let's go back to the code. It's making me hungry. Can't do it.
You should add some masala in the curry, which is T for tandoor. All right, cool. So, but first thing is first, guys, and let's acknowledge the country and pay our respects to the elders. So, here we go. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and future. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. Fantastic. Cool. So, Caxipus06 also wants us to code, and yeah, so let's hear it out for Caxipus and continue with action. So T, the closest one is R because there is no T for the background, so we might have to do a rock again. There we go.
Oh, I didn't know I was muted. My bad.
That's all right.
Let's go to the sewage treatment plant. Let's do it. Let's take a field trip today.
Brilliant. Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to learn all about waste management on this episode.
How to reduce redundant code.
Yeah, and how code gets recycled.
Yes, which is pretty much the entire project. All right. So just to update you, I did a bit of workout in the last episode, so I'll just get you up to date with that one. So you know how we said that we need to implement the last functionality of as in saving the notes in as in according to the board columns.
Yep.
You with me, Tori?
Right.
Yeah. So what happened was I did a bit of architecting, if you want to call it, as in how we will do that. And this, oh, really, no, this is embarrassing. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So this is basically what I did. I have created an epic, which would be here, and in the epic basically it was all the data structure that we want to implement. How do we do it? Where did that go? Really? It was here.
Add board columns in the back
Add board
end.
columns,
Saving
progress,
notes.
and
not it.
no, I added a description as well. I'm pretty sure. Hang on, just give me a few minutes. I'm pretty sure I added the board, as in the description, in there as well. Where did it go? That's interesting. Maybe this is the backlog.
Did you pay your Jira bill?
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do that. But that is really interesting. I can't even see it in this.
Is it in the
Hang
history?
on. Hey,
Is it in the activity history?
where's that? How do I go about that?
Or if you click on the note and then you click on the history,
Note.
the ticket, whatever.
Uh-huh.
You click on history.
None. Oh, okay. This is really weird. I must have forgotten to save that 2 days ago. None.
Oh yeah, sometimes I do that with Jira too, because like, even if you click out, you have to. Usually, you have to explicitly hit the save button, don't you? It's kind of annoying. About Jira, I don't like that.
Right, hang on a minute. I've got another idea. Maybe it's still in the drawer because I made it over there. File arrangement. No, it's not even here. Anyway, so I'll just basically explain it. So you know how at the moment we are saving the board notes in the array?
Yep.
We want to do the same for board columns. So each board object will have. I might just draw it. That way might be a lot easier. So say this is. Oh, hang on. What's this? No, that's not that one. So this is basically our board object. I'm doing it as fast as I can because I don't really want to give.
Is it the same? Is it the same structure as DynamoDB? As what's in DynamoDB?
Yes, except one thing. So say this is a board ID. Okay. I'm gonna do a really rough one.
No worries.
So we can get cracking on that other one, the implementation. So that's a board name, and we have the passcode here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? Hello?
Yep.
Are you there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me? I think there's too much rock and roll. maybe.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's the passcode, and then here, you know how at the moment we have this
We have that
and then
attribute.
an array. So
Okay.
what I came up with the approach, and GagDev seemed to have agreed on that one as well, that we would add board columns here,
Mhm.
and then that as an array,
Mm-hmm.
and then each of the board columns
object.
say name, to do, and then board notes would come here in there, and that's basically one column for us, right? So that would end here, and then this would have another column which is doing, oops,
What if they don't have any columns?
then they would only have board notes, which we are
So
already
are
catering for.
we moving the board notes attributes inside of the columns? Are we okay, let's just think of it like a SQL database, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a column, we have board notes as a column, right?
Yeah.
We're not getting rid of that, we're keeping that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just adding an extra column called board columns, and we're putting
Yes.
inside this like an array of objects with the board notes.
Yes. So I guess it's good that you have highlighted that scenario as well. That if a user doesn't even have a board column, then we can basically eliminate board columns completely and just add board notes, as in how it's doing it at the moment.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask what do the board columns do?
So the board columns, see, I'll just go to.
Are they just purely UI stuff?
No.
No, they have functionality.
So say this is our board.
Yep.
Okay, and these are board columns.
Yeah, are they like just purely like UI? They don't serve any functional purpose, right?
I would say they would serve a functional purpose in the board notes being organized. So say if the user had these columns, so in this way, the columns will be serving a purpose that each note would have to be ensured that they come under a certain column when saved. Yes.
Right, but that's already done by the position of the note, which is saved. So I feel like there's no added functionality to the columns that I am aware of. Then all it is purely UI stuff from a coding perspective, let's say, not from a user perspective. I understand what the user is doing with it, but from a functional perspective of the code, all it is some lines.
Yeah. So for example, you're right. From a coding perspective, it's not really functional thing at all.
Yeah,
because
we're not. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Of the note, and they would be.
Oh, you're muted, Zane. Why are you muted? You're muted. What happened? That was weird.
Myself.
Now you sound weird. What happened? Did you take your headset off? Did your headset die?
No, can you hear
Oh,
me?
now you sound good now. That's weird.
Oh, it was the bar here.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to this part. So in terms of the functional requirement, we just have to make sure that the basically we would ensure that these notes are saved exactly in the position that we are saving it, and I guess the function.
Which they are already.
Yeah.
So I feel like based on that assumption, we don't actually need to make that board notes list in DynamoDB complicated, because
No.
all we need to do is have the name for the column and the position of the column, meaning this dotted line, which would, like, if you think of this like an array, there's like today is at the 0th index, doing is at the 1st index, and then we eliminate the need for adding any objects because the notes take care of themselves by having their position already recorded in the note. Because like if you save the page right now, the notes would be in the same spot.
Yeah. Right. So that would mean that all we need to do is just save the column names.
And how many, I guess? I don't know the code for the front end, how it makes these things. I guess we'd have to look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably we can just tap into that little button click there, basically, and look at that code and look how it creates the columns. And basically, we can get that info when we get the notes from DynamoDB. We can also just get the columns, and if they exist, we'll just tap into that, create the column functionality, and just add the names as such.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we don't have to make a complex DynamoDB thingy, and it'll be a lot easier to save. The only thing is, I don't know if there actually is some other functionality to it, but I'm assuming none that I can tell at the moment.
Neither do I. So we would basically go on a bit of an adventure to check how it's working at the moment.
Does what I'm saying make sense at all?
Yes, it does make sense. Basically, what you're trying to say is that we just have to basically focus on, as in, how the button is creating the note, the columns, and just basically when we are getting the board, we can do the same based on how many columns we have, and then get the column names from the object and just display them.
Okay, yeah, that's
Am I right?
what I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think that makes? Do you think that's a good plan, or? That's the way I first just initially thought about it when you explained it. Like,
because and that makes sense though. It's all about thinking out loud and how we will approach it. And you're right, after getting the data from DynamoDB, we would have to trigger these buttons here, as in depending on how many columns we have, and then after it triggers, say, 3 times, we would have to check in the object, as in what is the first column what's the second column name, and the third column name, and then display exactly how we are displaying the board at the moment, as in board title. Do the same for these columns as well.
Yeah, probably in Script.js, I bet you there's something already written, like create column.
Yeah.
And then basically when we load the notes, we'll just use that create column function or whatever, and then just let it, just call it, just execute it. And then we done. The only thing is, I think we also need to hook up the WebSocket part, I guess.
Yeah. That would have to be done as well. Yeah. Actually, let me look up WebSocket to board column functionality. Alrighty. Add a pic. Yeah,
there is a method in Script.js called create column. Ba-boom.
Okay. Yeah,
So
kaboom, here we go.
We don't even have to write anything.
Yeah.
I like that.
But in the backend we would.
Yes. So it says apparently you can have a total of 8 columns according to the code. Is that true?
Okay. It must be if the code says it, then it's true. So
yeah, let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. Yep. Yes, it's true.
So
cannot be property. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it doesn't allow us, so the property is coming up as null.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So I would start on the backend part. All right. How does that sound, Tori?
Sure. Yeah.
You want to take off? Or do you want to take off?
What do you mean, code? Is that Aussie slang?
To be honest, I don't even know.
Take off? Do you want me to? You're asking if I want to go?
I was asking if you wanted to have a go at coding part.
The coding.
Yeah.
Take off. Is that a takeoff? That's the Aussie slang thing. I love learning some new Aussie slang.
Is it an Aussie slang?
That's how
get there, because I'm not entirely sure.
Take off? Or is it a...
Yeah,
you're from... Or you lived in... You also grew up in England? Is that right?
Yeah.
So is it an English slang? They have a lot of slang too.
Yeah. I think it might be more of a British one than Aussie, but that's how I get that, because I don't know. I'm pretty sure they say here that
Hi, good eye, mate.
Gotta go. I gotta go.
Hi, mate.
I gotta go, mate. You alright, mate? All right. So I did commit this code. So shouldn't have.
I hope you committed that code like you committed that Jira ticket.
No. It is a bit more simpler than Jira, I guess. Because when you come in Git, it won't ask you to save first.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Stop it, Jira.
So when we do the notes, so when we adding the notes, Actually, when we press save, we want to add the note. Create that one. So how do I always do this? Yeah. Create a note for a specific board. All right, cool. So our column should appear here. Board. I don't want this underscore there. It needs to be consistent. Board notes, no, not that one. Create.
Really? A brawly is an umbrella? A brawly?
Raleigh. In Aussie slang, is it?
Yeah, apparently.
Interesting. I didn't know. Board columns. Board column. Board column.
I gotta try these on my friend. I'm sorry. Alright. I'm always curious.
So it would be an array. So how is board notes coming up as? Where did I define board notes? Is board notes up here? Board notes, no, not up here. Board notes. Oh, okay. Cool. So they're coming up as that. So board notes. So we do need. Okay. Cool. Gotcha. I gotcha.
Oh, he's got you now. He's got you now. He's hot on
So
the
in
tail.
item, that needs to be board column. Columns.
Too many Jira tickets. There's 100 in the Boar backlog. We have 4 backlogged issues. That's not fair.
Yeah, there's supposed to be more, right?
Oh no. Yesterday I just spent some time deleting a few.
No wonder why. This is a lot clearer now. Backlog.
Yeah, I just kept clicking delete. Done.
Done, delete, done, delete.
No,
done,
actually,
delete,
I was I'm joking. I think Dinesh. I got some emails. I think maybe Dinesh was cleaning in here.
That's interesting, because if it was, then I would have gone spammed in my email.
Well, maybe it was the other day. I don't remember.
Probably. But anyway, yeah, let's go back. So we have added the board columns. Yeah, board columns is an array, and board notes is an array. So that comes in, which is good. So we are entering this one there. So with that being said, we are actually creating the. Okay, so there has to be 2 scenarios on there. I guess this would be the first one, where the user doesn't have any column, but they only have notes. And I guess this would be. Oh, this is gonna go a bit more technically deep. Actually, I'm gonna create a boolean here.
Wouldn't you just default it as an empty array, like for the columns?
But the structure that we had here, according to this one, we can't have an empty array. because the board notes are going to be in there for the second scenario.
Okay, I'm confused. Why do we need the board notes in the array? Why don't we just have the names of the columns?
Okay, I should have explained it a bit more clearly. Hang on a minute.
I don't think we need the board notes in there.
Okay, right. So you're saying that we don't need the board notes in the board columns array because we are not going to be having anything to do with the board columns when we save the board notes.
What do you can? We just save them all at the same time, right?
Yes. So basically, my theory at the moment is that you know how we are saving. Oh, let me get rid of the ones that we are not using. Okay, you know, say this is how we're working at the moment. Okay.
Yep.
We have one note in to do, doing, and done. What my theory was that this we have 3 columns at the moment, 1, 2, 3. So this would be to do, this would be doing, and this would be done. Okay, and say at the moment we have this this note in to do, 2 in that one, and 3 in done. So how we would basically save is say this note is 1, sorry, 2, this one is 1, and this one is 3. This is how I've got the structure in my mind that we are trying to implement at the moment. What do you reckon about this?
I think we only need the name of the column because the board notes, so each note already has the XY position on the UI. And so we don't need, so the in the client side code just looks at that. It doesn't look at the column. It just looks looks at the XY position of the viewport. And then it says, okay, I'm just putting the note here on the viewport. It doesn't care about what column it is in, or if it's not even in a column. So that's why I was trying to say, I feel like the columns are purely like more of a UI thing than anything functional. It's not like if you put it in this column, then it has like some feature. It's just like a literally like a line on the screen just for the user to help them organize. That's why I was saying then we don't need the notes in the columns because we only need the name of the column, and we might not even need it to be an object. We might just have a string, like an array with the names on the string, because it looks like based on the board's functionality, you can only like add and delete. So like the first column name would be the 0th index, and like the last column is the last index. And then when you click that delete button, you have no control over which column it deletes. It just deletes the last one, starting from the last. So that's why I was thinking all we need is an array.
I think your approach is a lot simpler than what I've come onto, because
it's helpful because I know how the notes appear on the screen. Because I looked at that code that is from Script.js, I see how the notes get attached to the viewport. It's just through that positioning, and then as far as I
Right,
know,
right, right, right. Yeah.
there's nothing else that positions the notes. I think, as far as I know,
Yeah,
as far as I looked.
that actually makes a lot more sense because, yeah, you're right. We can use the positioning detail in our advantage, as in to our advantage, because we know on which x, y, and z x and y coordinates that each node is placed. All we can do is just remember the column names and map them out in the front end as well. That's all. And then the position will take care of itself based on the columns.
Okay. Is there some reason you want the notes and the columns together?
In the columns together,
Like,
as
is
in
there
this way.
is there some reason why you want to know which notes are in a column? Because if you keep it simple, like the code is very simple. But if there is a functionality where you want to know which notes are in the to-do column because you're building a feature around that, then that's a different story. Because then, yeah, you need something maybe a little bit more complex about like what you're saying.
Right. I don't think that we should go that complex as I was thinking, because you're right that C at the moment, Note 1 has its own X and Y positioning, right?
Yep.
And Note 2 does, Note 3 does. If
Yep.
we stay this and get the board, it will come in this position,
Same
right?
spot. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can just try and remember the column names based on the indexes, and just
Yeah.
map the column names out. The board nodes will take care of themselves.
Gotcha. Yep. Yep. I think that's it. Maybe we'll run into a problem later where we're like, oh, this feature, but as far as I can
Yeah,
tell,
that's fine. Mm.
and then
Yeah.
it's just pretty easy because all we need to do is just add a array of strings to DynamoDB.
Yeah.
That's why it's good when you write the functionality on the front end, because then you know what happens on the front end. You back-end dev, you.
I won't say I'm a backend dev. I like to be jack
All
of all
around.
trades. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I enjoy it. I enjoy everything.
Okay, our target is to basically do the backend code today, hopefully, and then move on to front end tomorrow. Name etc. Okay, cool. Now you have to save. You don't have a choice. And actually, I will add you both into the watches, so you both are aware as well.
Draw a new column.
Okay, cool. Sorry, what are you doing at the moment? As in from your mouth?
Reading the code. Oh, you mean my mouth? Oh, I'm eating a candy.
Oh,
My bad.
that's alright, don't worry. Okay, cool. So we wanna create a board array, board column array. Create a new board. Here we go, board column. Board columns. And fine, yes, length, you be happy. Just go away. Missing space before value, board column. Fine, be happy. Okay, cool. So board columns. So this is when it gets inserted. Right. That would be fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because actually this approach will also take care of the if there are no board names in the board columns array, then basically don't worry about the columns at all, isn't it?
So you just have an empty one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this insertion is done. And we need to do a board columns on the top as well. So if anything comes in, let board columns empty array.
Update column. Okay. It's pretty simple.
Board columns. Okay, board column would come in the create no. I don't want this one at the moment.
Update column.
Board columns, yeah, that is fine. So what things have I done? Okay, that one, and then I don't need this part here, get rid of that. And then what I need is board columns. So this is basically just inserting the board columns, yeah. And then what I need over here would be board columns note. No, I don't need this. Yeah, don't need this. Cool.
Boom, 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 boom. Just
Okay.
jamming out. Just rocking out.
Okay, cool. So now we can basically start inserting the board column names in that one. So yeah. So what I will do is basically deploy it. Sam build. All right. Oops. What happened here? The build failed.
Yo.
How dare how date failed. Where am I doing it? Oh, do I need to be in the client? No, I don't need to be in the client because the template of YAML is here. Where is it failing? But this is related to no files from package. Ah, right. So I'm in the wrong thing apparently.
Have you ever heard the term, Zane, back end of the front end?
Yeah, a million times.
You have. Back end. Oh, okay. So I was reading an article the other day, and it was about there's kind of like two generalized stripes of front end devs, and one is like kind of more the UI based, and then the other one is more the like the like functionality, let's call it, for lack of a better word, of the UI, of the front end. Not even just the UI, like the functionality of the front end, right? So they called it back end of the front end.
That's interesting.
And I was like, yeah, that's the category that I like to be in, because I'm not super focused on UI, but I love coding the features, the functionality.
Default function. Code URI. It's gonna WebSocket default. No, and then sync open. Why is the build failing? I'm just really curious.
It says npm cannot find a file. Are you in the right?
I am. Package.json, and then I've got template.yaml as well. Why am I missing? This is related to some build.
Looks like it crashed there with this Node.js npm builder.
Yeah,
no such file or directory. Open users Zane workspace Scrumbler app WebSockets default package. So does
I'm not even
WebSockets
doing that.
Does that have it? It's looking for it.
I want this one, and this should work.
But I think it needs all of them.
Scrumbler API WebSocket. So you mean if I go into that?
Does it have a package.json?
No, it doesn't.
I think that's why. Huh. Those WebSocket ones, they don't even need a package.json though. That's weird.
This is no, yeah. So it's basically looking for package.json in this folder.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah.
It wouldn't need it.
Do the other ones have it? Yeah, it doesn't need it. Because those don't have any node modules.
Exactly.
Come on, Sam build. Why are you doing this?
Build failed.
Why does it need to find one?
A completer. This is really interesting. I haven't had this kind of an error before. As in, Sam is not building because he's finding a file. it's not finding a file in this directory. Just checking all my things there, right?
Here, I'll let me see if I can troubleshoot this for you too. Samville. Package.json. No. Okay, this looks similar. Oh, they have some documentation on this. Oof. What are you eating for dinner tonight? I am getting hungry.
I am. What am I having? To be honest, I don't even know. My missus probably cooked it already, and
That's
is
nice.
it will probably be just in the fridge, but I don't even know what
I'm eating
having.
like this chicken coconut soup or something.
Ooh,
Coconut
interesting.
milk. Yeah. With spinach, I think.
Looking
It's
forward
supposed
to
to
it.
have. What's that?
You looking forward
I
to
am.
it?
I just started thinking about it. That's why I asked you what you're eating.
Right. I see. Fantastic. So I know what the problem is now.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was it? I'm curious.
Let me check if it builds now, and then we will find out that was the problem. So if I get rid of this,
I'll be right back, sir. I must use the restroom.
no problemo. Fantastic. So this been built, which is great. Now we can just go into deploying it. Deploy by guidance. Actually, need to use raw code as one. Profile. Okay, no problem. File. Okay, let's save this build. It should get done. Just creating the stack now.
How's it going, Zane? Yeah? Oh, it looks like it's
Very
working.
good. Yes, so it was looking for the package.json file in each of these folders, and I think because they are folders, that's why it's as in attempting to find these files in these as well.
I thought it didn't need those, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. As long as it's worked, which is great.
Yeah, just keep on
Okay.
working.
Brilliant. So let's open up Mr. Postman and test our endpoint. Yes, our endpoint will it work? Let's find out. So passcode is that one. What other things that we had?
The board
Menu
nodes.
board. So passcode, board columns.
Oh, the board columns. Yep.
And if that one was, say, to do, yeah, to do is fine. Yeah, and then the board notes won't really come in here because they're already being added. Really? Actually, will they? No. This is not gonna work, I've got a feeling. But let's try anyway. That's interesting, that worked. So if you're going to test one, get all boards. Test one. Test one. Board name. We're looking for board columns. Right. Okay, because it's coming up as empty string because it's not taking anything from the body at the moment. That's why it's not showing anything there. Cool. So what we basically need to do is you know how we have done this board nodes? We need to do this. We need to pass the board columns in this string, as in this array. Board columns as we are doing, as in from the front end. So I'm gonna just pass something here. So pass board columns to be passed on front end. Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna commit this part, board column, just 2 changes I've made. Yes, just 2 changes I've made. Brilliant there.
Look, frog is being chirpy.
Okay.
There's a frog just being chirpy.
Ah.
He's done.
Did not match any files. Why not? I want to match a file, and I will make a match a file. Scrum API.
Oh man, that daylight savings is making me tired.
JS code that is done and commit. Adds board column array. Boom, and then what do you say? Git push.
Woohoo!
Push it.
Careful.
That was a good progress, though. I like it.
Yeah, nice work, man. Nice work, Zane.
What did you think of it?
I think it's great. I think hopefully I can help you guys tomorrow because I know the front end code, where all that stuff is, and then we can boop boop boop, and hopefully it will be a fast
and
feature
furious.
to add. Fast and furious feature to just knock out.
Yeah, I probably I know if Tanesh is feeling well, regardless, feel free to join in, because
Uh,
I am really giving this functionality just maximum 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can get it done by this week.
yeah, that's how we would like to roll, which would be
You
amazing.
know what? I'm gonna up it. We're gonna get this done tomorrow.
Really.
No.
I don't recommend you, man. Have some rest to yourself. You're gonna burn out before we even start.
Okay, you want to hear what I'm working on before
Uh-huh.
we end the show? So
Mhm.
I'm getting ready to do a lot of interviews. Like I'm
Mhm.
gonna start applying to a lot of jobs
Mhm.
next week or this week, basically. And so I've set up a new inbox
Mhm.
for my email to get all my emails just sent there because there's gonna be way too many emails to deal with. So it'll be annoying. I'll lose them, whatever. And I got scheduling through Google Calendar. It's like a paid feature, but I already had a business email, so it was cool because they just released it. So I have a
Mm.
schedule, and then basically I'll just send that email to the recruiter or the HR, whoever, and say, this is my availability. And just please pick from here. Like, I can't do other times. I'm sorry.
I
Like,
like it. The
this is
bossy
my,
way.
yeah.
Can't
Well,
do
not in
it.
a jerk
See you
way, but
later.
like, hey,
Yeah.
it's already as flexible as it can be. And I can't, I have a life, I have other stuff to do, I have other work to do. So, this is it. Like, and if it doesn't work, like, please just
It doesn't work out.
check back later in a
Yeah.
few weeks, which means
I
they'll
like.
probably do it never, and then it will send them an auto response when they contact me the first time with that calendar saying, "Hey, I got your message. Here's the calendar link. Go sign up. Go pick a time. We'll meet. It'd be great to meet you." Um, and that I had to do through Google Apps Script, which is like Google's like API basically for working with Gmail or Google Sheets. So that's what I was doing today, setting that up for fun. Well,
That's some pretty cool stuff, though. I don't
dude, that's what you
think.
can do when you can code. I was like, I couldn't do that stuff like years ago.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really good though. Like, you give them the proper impression that, hey, I have a life. Hey, here's the schedule,
Oh
and
yeah.
and if you can't make it, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be antagonistic or disrespectful to them, but
No, that makes
that's just the way it
sense.
is,
Yeah, as in we all have our things to do,
Right.
and it should be from both sides, not just one.
Yeah, it should be mutual,
Mm,
exactly.
mm.
Um,
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it will work out just fine for you, because they are
the
gonna
business.
actually value you even more, because no applicant, I think, at your stage would do this kind of a thing, and you're gonna stand out. I'm telling you, you're
Thanks,
gonna
man.
stand out.
I'll
As
keep
in,
you informed as how it's
yeah,
going. But honestly,
yeah,
I think it's good. You need to set boundaries.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
you need to say this is what I can do. These are my limits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And if they don't acknowledge that, then honestly, it's not a company you would want to work for anyways. So
yeah,
just
yeah,
kick it to the can, right?
yeah, yeah.
To use an
Basically,
American
that's it.
expression there.
Mm-hmm.
Kick it to the
And
can.
kick it to the can. Right. Okay. What does that mean?
Kick it to the trash can.
Ah, okay, okay. Kick it to the trash can. Right. That makes sense.
Kick it to the can. Yeah, 'cause, like,
Kick it to the can. I like it.
because it's just
Oh,
not a good fit.
yeah, yeah. As in, is it got to be mutual, or what's the point?
Right, right.
Mm.
And
All right, cool. Do you want to do
great
the honors?
episode. Yeah, so today we got a little bit deeper on setting up the backend code in our Express Lambda app to handle the board columns that we will be tracking from the front end, and we discussed the different possible ways we could store that data in DynamoDB, and then we talked about how the front end code works and how the notes are saved, and we arrived at what we hopefully will be a very simple solution. And yeah, and then we're testing an endpoint. Seems to be working for now, and tomorrow we'll be looking at the front end and posting to the back end and seeing if we can hook that all up and get it working.
That would be amazing. And yeah, guys, first of all, thanks for joining. And if you want to see how we do that all cool stuff, feel free to join in same place, same time, and
A different task.
that is the one.
Have a great night. Thank